Born to a family of Filipino cooks and bakers, Javier Fernandez was bound to follow in the same footsteps.
My parents migrated here in '87. My dad's a personal chef. My mom started her own bakery business out of our own basement. My sister now runs the Guineas pastries side of it. So I've got a lot of chefs in my family, and that's kind of how I fell in love with cooking.
Born on the island of Cebu in the Philippines, Javier knew his passion was to cook and promote the Filipino food he grew up eating on that island.
I tell people I cook Maryland Filipino food, okay?
When it came time to open his own restaurant.
Well, when I came to concept with Kuya's Lechon Belly, it was always bringing back my past of going back to Cebu, going back to my homeland. Kuya's Lechon Belly, we specialize in pork belly. Lechon is a big staple in the island of Cebu. We're probably the best when it comes to lechon. In 2009, Anthony Bourdain went to Cebu and showcased the whole Filipino cuisine, told the world where the best pork he's ever had, and that was Cebu.
And it has been claimed many times that Filipino lechon, or whole roasted piggy, is the best in the world.
When I saw that, it kind of brought me to tears. And growing up in the DMV, I was like, that's gotta be here. I wanted to figure out a way to bring that dish here and get everybody to experience the same experience I had growing up eating lechon in Cebu as well.
Javier traveled all over Cebu to refine his techniques and create his very own boneless lechon belly. 3 years ago, he opened his very own restaurant where he takes immense pleasure and care in preparing every single pork belly as if he were serving it for his family.
Yeah, we definitely don't rush our pork belly lechon here. It takes over 5 to 6 hours. And the reason why we cook it for that long is just for the belly, there's so much fat content to it, so you want to render as much fat as you can. I have a lot of chefs all across the city who've been asking me, how do I get the skin crispy? Skin's the most important part of the lechon. Usually when you go to like a Filipino party or whatnot, the skin is always the first thing that people go for, and that's my favorite part. If it's not crispy, a lot of these Filipinos will tell you it's not a good lechon. It's got to have the mahogany color on the outside, and when you bite into it, it just kind of cracks like a piece of candy in your mouth.
That's like candy.
Kuya also has options for those that don't eat pork.
Coming to Kuya, I think our chicken adobo is a big famous dish. It comes like a rice bowl, and it's a slow stewed chicken that's marinated in soy sauce, a lot of garlic. You're getting shots of this.
Javier hasn't only created a place for people to come eat, but also a place for people to feel a part of a community.
It's not about just coming in here and just pushing the food out. We really got to educate the community as well and explain them what our food is about.
What, I guess, ingredient is big in the Philippines?
Vinegar. Vinegar is a very big thing in a lot of our cuisines. A lot of it is to my staff here, my employees, who have a big influence in that.
And that approach has paid off, leading Kuya to be recognized as one of the best restaurants in the Washington Post, the Washingtonian, and Eater DC. Javier says that he's picked a great place to run his own restaurant business.
Montgomery County is one of the best counties in the country. Like I said, I just wanted to introduce Filipino cuisine to this area because there's not much Filipino restaurants in the area. There's only a small group of us. This is where I grew up. This is kind of my home now, and I just really wanted to promote Filipino cuisine in this county.
Javier is working on expanding and opening another business. This time, a breakfast sandwich place in Gaithersburg.
It's called Lapu Lapu. Lapu Lapu is a very historical man. He's our first hero of the Philippines. He's actually right there, the warrior. He's from Cebu, and it's just educating the community where I come from and a little bit of history about that restaurant as well.
History of Filipino heroes and Filipino food make Kuya one of the best places to eat. In Rockville, I'm Mirchaye Sahlu.